What's going on, everyone? Back with another episode of Stuff and Things. Today we're talking about knives. Now, this time of year, on this given day, I'm still a fixed blade guy. I've been carrying a fixed blade almost full time for close to a year now, but I can't keep overlooking all of these really cool folders that are coming out. It's been quite a while since I brought you guys a review of a new folding knife, and this one I just straight up couldn't ignore. It's too cool. It's very similar to a knife that I've owned for a while and have actually reviewed in the past. However, this one has some new changes to it, and as of right now, the blade just went live this week. It is a Blade HQ exclusive, and it is coming from Arcform. So today we're taking a look at the Darcform Slimfoot. The Arcform Slimfoot is a fine-tuned flipper designed by Jeff Blauvelt. Sorry if I butchered that name, but this dude makes super clean and aesthetically pleasing knives. This exclusive version of the Slimfoot comes in with an overall length of 8 inches, a blade length of 3.5 inches, and that blade width is about an inch wide. The sheep's foot style blade is made out of a Bowler M390, so we're talking really nice high-end steel here. It's hollow ground and it is coated in black, which is where I believe they get the Arcform Darcform Slimfoot name from. For the handle of this knife, on the show side, we have a really nice natural G10, and this is a material that I wasn't a huge fan of until I first got my hands on a natural G10 blade. It almost looks transparent or kind of glow in the dark, and it may not seem as cool in videos and photos, but once you see this type of material in person, it really pops, especially with that black hardware on there. On the lock side of this knife, it is a frame lock, and everything that you see here is titanium. All black. Really nice black titanium pocket clip, and on the lock bar there's actually a steel insert. So if this knife isn't locking up to your preferred taste, you do have a little bit of adjustment there, or if you carry the heck out of this knife and end up wearing that out, you can replace it to get your desired lockup. Now let's head to the workbench for a little bit of a closer look. Alright, back over here at the workbench for a close-up look at this guy. It's been a while since I've been here, and I miss it. So here's a close-up look at some of the details on this Arcform Slimfoot. Natural G10 handles, really cool look. Kinda looks glow in the dark with the way the light's hitting it, but of course it's not. It would be cool to make a glow in the dark G10 handle like this, but still a really clean and cool material. A little bit of texturing on there, some nice chamfering, and sort of rounded out areas for where you would maybe get a hot spot on this knife, but I can tell you already that this thing feels really good in the hand. You can sort of see some of the design details that they've added to the blade peeking out of the top there. Centering on this guy, completely spot on, super well fit. Now on the lock side, again, everything we're looking at here is titanium. It sort of has like a stone wash style finish to it in that black coating. Black hardware all the way through. Really simple and clean Arcform branding. I'm typically not a huge fan for branding on knives, but the Arcform logo and font is just super clean, and I think they did a really good job with that. Here's a side profile, really nice pocket clip. It has pretty good retention to it, maybe a little bit stiff for my liking, but all of my pants pockets are chewed up anyway, so it's just going to add to the destruction of my jeans. Here's that torque screw, which will allow you to change the steel insert on the lock bar. And actually, if we look at the back here, there's very subtle jimping down this back spacer, which is also made out of titanium, and the machining on this guy is just perfection. It looks really, really nice. The flipper on the back here, not too obtrusive. It's kind of low-key. It's not sticking out real far, and you can tell it's a flipper. A lot of times when knives have smaller flippers like this, they may not have the best action, but this thing is really smooth, and you can flick it out like normal, or you can even sort of grab it with your thumb and flick it down like a lighter. So pretty nice flipper on there. Now a close-up look at the blade, simple Arcform A logo on there. Black finish, again you can kind of tell it's like a little bit stonewash. It has some sort of like a texture to it. Again, it is hollow ground, so far over like maybe 2 weeks of me carrying this guy, really great slicer, great EDC knife, opening packages, and basically anything else that you would do with a regular EDC knife. Now coming up to the flat of the blade along the spine here, they have a little groove cut into place, which is a really nice touch. And then they've also added these angles, sort of like a chamfer along the top spine of the blade. It's kind of deceptive because it doesn't seem like this is a chunky blade, but it does have a pretty good thickness to it. That chamfer runs all the way along the back and then even down the edge of this sheep foot right here. You'll find that on both sides, and it's just a really cool, almost like futuristic looking design. The lockup on this guy is fairly early. Like I mentioned, you can adjust that accordingly, or if you wear that out, you can replace the little steel insert in there. I'd say it's about a third of the way over. It really depends on how hard you flick this thing open, but the action of it, very smooth, and I'm sure it will get smoother over time. Now, for comparison's sake, when we're talking about size and sort of functionality, another natural G10 knife, which I've reviewed here on the channel, this was also an exclusive all natural G10 Benchmade Osborne. This is a 940, very similar in size, similar materials. This one has a little bit more texture on the handles than the Benchmade does. Both great knives. This one definitely has a cult following, and I think Arcform might follow suit with that. They're great knives, and I think a lot of people are going to dig these. Now, also a very close comparison, the original Arcform sheepfoot that I got, this is in like sort of a sniper gray texture, black blade, really nice ProTech style pocket clip on here. This one was a collab between Arcform and ProTech, so you got that ProTech action on there. Now, as far as ProTech actions go, with the weight of this blade and the design of everything, I would say this is the least heavy hitting of all of my ProTechs. If you hold the button, you'll notice that the blade kind of bounces into place. So when you do fire this blade, you want to press the button and let go quickly. That way it locks into place first time, but overall, it still feels really good in the hand, but if we put it right up next to the newest Slimfoot, you'll notice that this guy is a little bit shorter in all dimensions, so a little bit smaller handle, a little bit smaller blade. If I had to make a choice, I would probably opt for the bigger version, and I also think I prefer a manual flipper just because there's a little bit more fidget factor to it. I've carried this knife for a while. This one is very new to me, so I've only carried it a little bit. I can't make a dead set opinion on which one I would choose, but I think I'd be leaning towards the newer version. Now, for other size comparisons, over here we have one fairly similar in size. This is the Boker Plus Keon. This one is coming from my friend Lucas Burnley. He actually designed this blade in collaboration with them. It has a really nice action. I believe I've reviewed this one on the channel before too. It fires really hard compared to the just standard versions. Nice texturing on there, and if we put that right up against, it is almost identical in size, so about 8 inches overall. Now back to the smaller side of things, here we have everyone's favorite, the Benchmade Bug Out. This one right here is actually a new one as well. Collaboration between Benchmade and Worksharp knife sharpeners. This one is a limited edition. They may still be available online. I haven't reviewed this guy because I've reviewed Bug Outs and I show them all the time. Still a really cool blade. The collaboration made this one 20 CV, so really high-end steel. It's in that sort of amber yellow color that Worksharp is known for, and this blade is sweet. Hasn't really seen any pocket time yet, but lately this has been a desk knife just sitting over there on my desk. That way I can open packages. Now, similar in blade shape and overall length, here we have the Spyderco Rock. I've had this knife for quite a long time. It was a gift from my friend Wayne. Shout out to Wayne. Haven't carried this knife in a really long time, but it sort of has this cleaver, Warncliffe, kind of sheep's foot style blade on there, and if we put that up next to everything else, again coming in at about 8 inches, so very similar in design and similar in length and dimensions overall with the Spyderco Rock. And then last but not least, if we're going super budget, right here we got an Opinel number 8, Opinel, however you say it. These Frenchy knives. It's got a little lock on it. I don't know if I've reviewed this one. I've definitely shown it in a video before. Really cool lightweight blade on here, sort of utilitarian and very simple. Closer to the size of the Benchmade Bug Out, and these are just the knives that I figured I would bring out so you guys can get a comparison of what this thing looks like compared to other knives out there. So those are my thoughts on the Arcform Darcform Slimfoot Blade HQ exclusive. This thing is really cool. If I had to pick between this one and the older one that I have, I would probably opt for this. I just prefer a little bit more fidget factor with the flipper on there. Don't get me wrong, I love autos, I love ProTech actions, but this one just has a little bit more fidget factor for me personally, a little bit bigger, and it feels really good, looks really good as well. So if you guys have any questions on this blade, let me know in the comments down below. I will try to leave a link for these in the description. Hopefully they're still available by the time this video goes up and you guys are watching it. If not, I'm not sure if they will ever come back in stock, but hopefully if you got your eyes on this, you'll be able to get your hands on one because it's a sweet blade to have in the collection. So that is all that I had for today's video. If you guys are new to this channel, consider clicking subscribe. I make new videos every single week. As always, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one.